Friday nights in the mountains hit different. Rivalries renew as August heat turns into cold mountain nights. From Mitchell to Murphy, we've got the plays, the players, and the matchups that matter. The battle for the Blue Ridge starts here. This is Mountain Matchups.
Welcome back to the Mountain Matchups podcast. Caleb here with Corey and Warren. Fellas, what's going on?
Not much. How you doing, my man?
Back on another Wednesday night talking football with my brothers.
You can't beat it. You can't beat it. See, we're so in sync that we said it at the same time. You can't beat it.
That's that telepathy, dog.
That's right. We saw a lot of good games Friday night. We're going to dive into that here in a minute. Warren, you went to Atlanta for the Tour Championship. How was that?
Shout out, Leslie. The best birthday present I've ever gotten in my life. Got to see Scotty Scheffler, Fleetwood, all the pros. Keegan Bradley made me truly appreciate just how talented. Like growing up, I thought golfers were not athletes. Damn, their precision, accuracy, everything they do is spot on.
Is this a little better than you?
Yeah, just a little bit. I think I'm surprised I didn't qualify for the Ryder Cup, but you know,
maybe next year.
The Ryder Cup at Crown.
Yeah.
R.I.P. to Crown too.
Got Corey's little golf trip coming up this weekend. Looking forward to that.
You're going to get to showcase what you learned from last week.
Going to play a little golf in Tennessee. I am by far the best golfer out of us three, so it's going to be kind of boring for me to play with them, but we'll see how it goes.
Caleb's long drive champion.
That's all I can do. And that's only half the time.
Rumor has it he beat Bryson DeChambeau one time.
Oh.
We don't talk about that. Bryson DeChambeau was 12, so I got lucky. And even then, I only lost by 3 strokes. All right, so we had a lot of good football last Friday. Let's dive on into it. Our game of the week last week was Reynolds at Brevard. We all felt Brevard was going to win, but we weren't sure how Reynolds was going to play. Well, Brevard came out firing on Friday night, jumping out to a 28-7 lead by halftime. They added in a field goal in the fourth quarter to finish the Rockets off 31-7 and start 1-0 on the season. Coach Coleman stuck with last year's 2-quarterback system in Ben Kessinger and Christian Conley like we expected, but the ground game was the main story for Brevard's offense. Conley had 44 yards on just 3 carries. That's 14.7 average for you kids who can't do math, and a touchdown. Braylon Thompson, I mean, we've talked about him going back to last season. He looks like one of the best backs in Western North Carolina again. Did what he does, 97 yards, touchdown. Nyrell Skinner, he had a very workmanlike 57 yards on 17 carries. Tough yards, helped the team move the chains. But it was an impressive rushing attack overall for the Blue Devils. And even though their run game and defense is really what carried the team throughout, they had a breakout performance from their junior wide receiver, Tristan Thompson-Wynn. He opened the game with an 85-yard kick return to the crib. And he also had 3 catches for 96 yards. That's 32 yards per catch. And he had a touchdown from Kessinger. So he demonstrated big playability. So if he can maintain that for Brevard throughout the season, this offense is that much more difficult to play against.
I mean, you got Thompson and Skinner. Might as well nickname them Double Trouble like Stewart and D'Angelo Williams back in the day. And then you got Hyphen right there. Thompson-Wynn. If he can stretch the defense on the outside, do special teams, return kicks like that, Brevard is a massive problem.
Yeah.
Maybe even more so than they were last year. That is a big problem right there.
I mean, my whole thing is you talk about Braylon Thompson and Skinner. I mean, if those dudes can just do what they do, let alone with a guy like Kessinger who can run it, can throw it. But now he's got rising junior Tristan Thompson-Wynn who can catch the ball. I'm sure they probably run him on some jet sweeps. The kid takes the freaking opening kickoff back for a touchdown.
Yeah.
I don't know how you stop him. I really don't.
No, so, I mean, Reynolds had their hands full, and they couldn't do anything on offense against Brevard's stifling defense. New transfer quarterback Avery Hollifield for Reynolds that we talked about last week. He's still getting settled in, and their offense just could not get going. But he did have 44 yards rushing and scored their only TD, so maybe that's something they try to factor him more in as a running quarterback in future games. We'll see how that shakes out. But again, impressive performance on both sides of the ball from Brevard, and they look poised for another deep run in the newly revamped playoff format this season. Don't forget, it's going to be a different setup once they reach the postseason this year. So they've got an even stronger chance of winning it all. So Brevard gets a bye this week, and then they jump back into the fray to battle against Erwin on September 5th. Boys, potential game of the week? Maybe. Yep. We'll see. But Reynolds will try to get back on track with a road game at Maiden this Friday. Props to Brevard. We all saw it coming. We all picked them. We thought it would be a little bit closer than it was, but look, props to them. They handle business. And Coach Coleman's Blue Devils are 1-0.
Hey, I did say 14. I think it was.
You did.
It ended up being a lot more. But I beat you too. That's all I care about.
Fair enough. That doesn't count. The pick just still remains as the pick. You don't get credit for closest to the hole. This ain't golf. We've talked about enough golf already, okay? But the game that we talked about potentially doing as our game of the week and probably should have was Erwin at West Henderson. It was an amazing game.
Yeah, so I actually was at Enka in North Henderson for the first half. And I was like, I'm deucing out of here. I'm going to go watch Erwin play at West. I mean, dude, it's hard whenever you go to school at Enka, and I love them kids. I still got faith in them. Hope they can get it turned around. But, you know, I was trying to go catch the rest of that game while I could. Heard, I think at the time, Erwin was up like 14-6 or something like that. But anyway, so I showed up there and watched them. So the whole thing was Erwin's Western North Carolina preseason player of the year and Lawson Reynolds. He goes down in the first quarter with a knee injury. Thankfully, he's expected to be back this Friday, so his senior season isn't lost. Without Reynolds, Erwin's offense just looked totally different. Fewer explosive plays, more, grinded out drives. Credit to them for still finding ways to score at West because that's a tough place to play. But it didn't have the same spark as last year, in my opinion. But if they figure it out, taking time off the clock and being able to still find the end zone too, I mean, that's not such a bad recipe. On the West Henderson side of things, quarterback Cade Young, he really shined. He had that one wild play where he scrambled left, and then dude gives a one-handed flip to tight end Brady Duvall for a TD right over the defender's head. I mean, that's straight out of a Drake May highlight reel. Caleb, you remember you remember what I'm talking about?
I mean, yeah, it was only 2 seasons ago.
Yeah. So Cade Young finishes with 268 yards and 2 touchdowns, and that was including an 88-yard bomb to Zach McMahon. That was to get them back within 2 late in the game. West never looked back. Zane McCraw came up huge, as he often does. Big 3rd and long conversion with the game on the line. And let me add, so me and Dylan were down right there in front of West Henderson, and Zane McCraw breaks a couple tackles, ends up getting the first down, but where that ref spotted him, maybe a little controversy there. Ooh. Dude gets it, doesn't matter, caps the drive off with the game-winning score. McCraw's night, 143 yards on the ground plus 4 catches for 34 yards, and West starts the season off with a statement win.
Like, how do you stop a player like Zane McCraw? Like, what do you say? He had 28 rushes, nearly 150 yards. He can also catch the ball.
If you could answer that question, you'd be making a lot of money in Western North Carolina right now because he tears people up every week.
The kid's a stud, man. He had all those yards on the ground and those catches for 34 yards, and the dude didn't even start out the first 2 drives of the second half because he was dealing with cramps. So that just goes to show how much of a freaking hoss he is. Yeah,
but, I mean, you brought it up. Lawson Reynolds going down in the first quarter, that threw Erwin off out the gate. So,
that's big time.
What happens if he stays in,
What happens if they have Jaden Holder, their leading linebacker, starting? I mean,
true.
Erwin's got a legit team. Just to even be in that game and still have a chance to throw a Hail Mary at the end to tie it. I mean, they're fine. They're fine.
I mean, let's be real quick. If Lawson Reynolds didn't exit the game due to a knee injury, they probably win. You can't lose the WNC preseason player of the year that early in the game and still nearly pull it out. And I mean, it's one of those wins where like you obviously get the loss, but you still feel good about it. Assuming Lawson Reynolds can come back, and then you probably feel like but assuming he comes back, it's kind of one of those wins for Erwin. Like, we lost our best player, but we still nearly beat one of the best teams in WNC. So it's kind of a loss, but it's also a win.
And I guarantee that was Rodney Pruitt's message the whole time. I mean, it had to be.
You're saying there is such a thing as a good loss?
Yeah, I go through it all the time watching the Panthers and Hornets.
What about Duke basketball?
those are all bad losses.
All right, Corey, don't start that crap. You can start getting me cursing on here. Don't start that crap.
Oh, was the Houston loss good for the program?
You freaking guy. All right.
Love you, mean it.
So Wes Henderson takes down Erwin at home. Erwin was a little short-handed from injuries, so they'll be all right. We'll see how they do moving forward, but a big win for Wes Henderson. Another huge game that we talked about last week was Pisgah at Mountain Heritage.
This was personally my game of the week. I've been on the Mountain Heritage bandwagon since last season. Extremely well coached, just an overall, they're great year in and year out. I know Enka people around here don't like Pisgah. I kind of like them a little bit, but that game was a complete obliteration. It was over by halftime. Mountain Heritage won 48-19. Casey Jones had 176 total yards, 4 TDs. Braden Dayton, in his first career start, had 5 touchdowns, which is incredible. Mountain Heritage finished the game with 322 rushing yards. And one of the main stats that I liked, Mountain Heritage has now rushed for at least 179 rushing yards in 14 consecutive games dating back to last season.
That's crazy.
That is a commitment. That is a commitment to running the football. If you, in high school, especially if you run the football and you play solid defense, you have a really good chance to win.
Well, and the crazy thing is, they've done that 14 consecutive games with teams knowing that's what's coming, and they still can't stop them.
And they just run it down their throats. They're like, "Here's what we're going to do. You're going to have to man up and stop it." And I mean, they made it to the semifinals last year or something, and finally, and they actually probably should have won that game. And
I mean, no pun intended here, but Mountain Heritage, you got cats, right? You're going to tell these cats, you're going to block. By God, we're going to run the football. And how do you produce that year in and year out? I mean, I don't understand it, because I mean, you're bound to have a down year, but even in their down years, it's like we're running the ball down your throat. Whether they beat a bunch of good teams and win a bunch of games, that's their bread and butter. And I think that's fascinating. I would love to coach somewhere like that one day.
Well,
I don't know if Mount Heritage has cats, but it looks like they have dogs. That's what they got. They got them dogs. They got them hog mollies up front, and they're like, you're going to push them down, and we're going to run right through that hole.
Hey, what did old buddy say? We don't need no more dog, or he said we don't need no more cats. He said we need some more dogs.
We need some dogs.
But yeah, Corey, to your point, I mean, they lost Brandon Quinn, who was a huge part of their offense, and it's just like plug in the next man.
Here's Braden Dayton, the exact same thing as Brandon Quinn.
Yeah.
First game, he's like 5 touchdowns.
And then big old hogs up in Burnsville, baby. They don't play around.
You, man, feeding the boys corn and taters.
I mean, not all is lost for Pisgah. I mean, Landon Pope, he had 15 rushes for 72 yards or whatnot. He had a slow start. Coach Brindley said after the game he wants Pope to run downhill. None of the side-to-side stuff. Run downhill, because he will run people over. Pisgah also got trampled at the beginning of last season, went on to win a conference title. So, I mean, it's the first game of the season. Pisgah's going to be all right. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure they're going to make the playoffs, but damn, that game was over at halftime, and that was a beating.
Let me ask a question. So you said Brindley you said after the game that Pope needs to be running downhill?
Yeah, it said, let me find the quote here. When he runs behind his pads and gets full head of steam, he's tough. He's a tough kid to bring down, running straight downhill. So
do you think maybe that says that he had a little bit of dancing? I'm not saying he didn't run downhill, but if he, was trying to shake people a little more, was that because of just Mountain Heritage's pure size and strength? I mean, it's got to be intimidating.
I think Mountain Heritage is just a better football team, and they were in the backfield, not immediately, but he didn't have time to they were there, and he's like, well, frig, I got to get out here, and that's just not the way he plays football. He's got to run downhill and mow people over.
But that's what I'm saying.
And he has the strength to do it.
But that's what I'm saying. Did he come, he met a Mountain Heritage player at the line of scrimmage or out in open space, and he was like, maybe can't truck these dudes? Got to try and put a move on them? Or
I would never say Landon Pope can't truck anyone. That is a physical specimen. He will run people over. But I think he tried to dance a little bit and try to break it outside a little too much. And as Coach Brenly mentioned, he wants him to run downhill. He's hard to bring down. He's like remember Mike Allstar from the Buccaneers?
Yeah.
Like
that's a pretty heavy comparison.
Yeah. If he could be
I'm just making a comparison here. Like,
but that's what I'm trying to understand though, is why didn't he run like he normally does? I've seen him truck everybody in their conference. Why didn't he do that against Mount Heritage? Why was he trying to dance?
Because Mount Heritage isn't in our conference for one. That's a whole Mount Heritage. I know what you're saying. But Mount Heritage is one of the best teams in the state. Mount Heritage is one of the best teams in the state. That is a very tough first game.
I know.
Right off the bat, you got Mount Heritage.
I'm not hating. I'm just saying. Does that mean Mount Heritage is that big and strong?
Yes, I think it does mean that. Why don't you text Coach Brenly and ask him? Ask him yourself.
I had his phone number. We played church basketball together. So,
and like three-fourths of being a running back also is O-line dependent. Like, what if his O-line just didn't run well, just didn't play well that night?
I think it's fair to say that Mountain Heritage won in the trenches, and what we say every week, that's where you're going to win in the mountains, especially, is your line play. And my guess is Mountain Heritage line is just better than Pisgah's.
Mount Heritage finished the game with 322 rushing yards, so there was definitely the trench battle was beyond in Mount Heritage's favor. I stopped watching the game at halftime, but god dang.
The whole thing that's scary to me is Pisgah is not small up front by any means. They have like I don't know how much the kid plays. I don't even remember his name, but on their roster they have a couple dudes that are like 6'2", 280, 290, 300. So they're not small. And Mountain Heritage just dominated. I mean, that's a scary team. And like you touched on, Warren, I mean, maybe state championship caliber. They were last year and honestly should have been.
Well, Mountain Heritage pretty well cemented itself as one of the best teams, if not the best team in WNC. I think they're the best team in WNC after that. They go in to play Erwin, which is Erwin's schedule the first 2 weeks is astounding, but that's a different subject. And Pisgah goes on Swain County. That'll be a good game as well. Swain County looked pretty freaking good their first week.
Better than we expected.
There's a lot of good games the first couple weeks of the season.
In other news in Western North Carolina, North Henderson, who we thought Enka would show up, they did not. North pummeled Enka 35-7. Enka could not do anything to stop North's rushing attack or their passing attack. It was just not a good night for the Jets.
Speaking of that, have you guys checked your phones? You got it right here. Open it up. It looks like North Henderson just scored again. My Lord. God dang.
Not a good first game for Enka, but North looked great. Maybe we were underrating them. We'll have to see how they fare in the next few weeks, but they look good.
Their quarterback runs a legitimate 4.4. Running back runs a legitimate 4.5. They're good.
They're fast.
They're a lot better than what people think they are. I'm not saying they're going to go on like win their conference, but I'm saying they're not whatever Citizen Times had them at like 21st in Buncombe County or Western North Carolina or whatever.
Agreed.
Well, what do you think about Enka after that game, Corey?
Do you want my honest opinion?
Yeah, because you left early to go see another game, so I want your honest opinion.
Okay, so any Enka kids that are listening right now, Coach Buckner, Coach Frady, Coach Sexton, if any of y'all are listening, this is no throwing any shade to y'all. I was excited. I still am. They can bounce back. It's game one, okay? North Henderson was a lot better than what people expected, like I said. But I was extremely let down just because I know the talent that they have on that team. I mean, returned 22 players from a 4-4 team last year. So I don't know. I was kind of let down. I hope that they bounce back against Hayesville and then can go give Pisgah a good showing. But yeah, it was tough sledding. I mean, North is good, but not the penalties and the effort is what I was disappointed in. And me being an Enka boy, I had to go.
I mean, I'm disappointed too, Corey. Me and my kids brought the groceries in, and by the time we were done with that, they were down 14-0.
Yeah, well, imagine driving to Edneyville and then being down 14-0 after I walked in the gates.
Yeah, so not a good showing from Enka. congrats to North Henderson. They played a great game, and very interested to see how North fares this season. Might be somebody to keep an eye on. We also had Asheville. They won a shootout with East Rutherford, 40-36. We kind of thought Asheville was going to be down this year, and maybe East Rutherford's better than expected, but 40-36, that's a high-scoring game. Looks like there wasn't a whole lot of defense being played. Clement Davidson for Asheville had 16 carries for 226 yards and 2 touchdowns. So Asheville would have been done without that performance. That's a hell of a game for Clement Davidson.
Yeah, that's a guy to keep. That's a guy to keep an eye on right there. Good Lord.
Yeah, hell of a game from him. 226 yards. That's nasty. Hendersonville blanked East Henderson 68-0. Funny enough, I was actually also at that North Henderson Enka game, and I think it was around late in the third quarter. They did kind of their scores on the PA, and when they mentioned that game, everyone in the North Henderson crowd was like, "Ooh." People started talking because 68-0. That is a beat down. That is not good for East.
I don't think North Henderson wants a Hendersonville smoke this year.
I don't think so. East Henderson's trying to rebuild, so they're a work in progress.
I don't know how you rebuild. What they going to do? Sign free agents from Hendersonville?
Imagine getting to be a part of the Hendersonville rivalry. I mean, you got four schools in the same. They're not all the same conference, but just in that same district. I mean, it's like the battle for Hendersonville. That'd be pretty sweet to play in.
Yeah. I would love to. I wish I could watch this game because a stat I saw said Hendersonville scored 68 points with only 20 offensive snaps. Like, did they 78-yard run, 60-yard run, 69-yard? I mean, what happened right there? Just bang, bang, bang.
Whatever happened, it wasn't good for East Henderson. It was great if you're a Hendersonville fan.
Yeah, I think East Henderson is going to be scarred for life after that beatdown.
That's brutal.
That's hard. I mean, that score is brutal.
That's what I'm talking about.
I mean, yeah.
We had Murphy and Franklin. Murphy goes into Franklin, wins 29-16. So, fun fact, unless you're a Franklin fan, Franklin has now lost 5 in a row going back to last season. And Murphy's standout player, Cameron Clem, had 87 yards and 2 touchdowns, so he did what he was expected to do as one of the preseason Western North Carolina Players of the Year. So props to Murphy. I thought Franklin would win that game, but Murphy went into their house and just took it from them. I think they were down, I want to say it was 16-12, and then Murphy just never looked back and took over.
Franklin has problems closing games. They're a very talented squad. They've lost 5 in a row dating back to last season. I think they're going to be okay. I hope they're going to be okay. They're talented as hell, but they like you said, they were up 16-12 going into the fourth against one of the best teams in Western North Carolina, and they just struggle closing games out.
Yeah, but I mean, let's not give Murphy their flowers. They're a good team. We probably underestimated. I underestimated them. I know I picked Franklin last week. I think y'all might have both picked Murphy. But yeah, that was a bad call on my part because Murphy took it to him. We also had Robbinsville 28, Tuscola 14. Tuscola quarterback Jet Bartley threw 3 picks to the Black Knights. He was supposed to be, one of Tuscola's standout players. Did not have a great game. And one of those picks went to Rylan Waldrop, who took it back to the house to ice the game. It was 21-14 Robbinsville. He gets the pick, takes it all the way back for the final score of 28-14.
Broke 3 tackles, too.
Speaking on that game, I hate to down a high school player or anything, but Jet Bartley cost him the game. Those 3 picks.
You got to be better. Yeah.
I mean, that pick 6, that was a game changer. And he's better. He's a great player. He's better than that. And I'm sure he's going to be better from here on out.
Yeah.
But it's just one of those week 1 things. It's hard to look into week 1 in football in general, even NFL, especially college or high school. He'll be all right though.
Yep. Just one game.
I want to touch on what Robbinsville's coach said to the newspaper. Did y'all see that?
Tell us.
He told Rylan Waldrop in the locker room after the game, he said something along the lines of never in a million years did I think that Rylan Waldrop of all people would take such a weight off my shoulders. I thought that was funny.
Wow, did he say that?
Yeah. I guess Rylan, you like to, I don't know, you got some gimmicks or something, but Apparently, Coach Ford does not like that.
That's definitely an interesting statement by a coach.
Hey, that's how it is out there in Robbinsville, baby.
You got to keep it real. Swain County, 21, Smoky Mountain 6. So we all thought that Smoky would beat Swain. I thought it was going to be a blowout. Another one that I was way off on. We were wrong about that. Swain went into Smoky and they beat him. So props to Swain.
Yeah, props to him. I thought Smoky Mountain was solid last year. I thought they had brought some people back, or players back rather, and they do better than that. But it's just week one. Maybe they'll be all right. Maybe they won't. We'll see.
Yeah, Smoky Mountain for sure has some things to work out. Owen 35, Rosman 0. Not much to say about that. Props to the War Horses for going into Rosman and blanking them. TC Robertson, one of the bigger wins, honestly, for Western North Carolina last week. They beat Huss 14-10. It was a defensive battle, but TC Robertson running back Muka Simpson had 133 yards and a touchdown to carry them over Huss. Big time win for the Rams.
Yeah, props to Muka. That's a great game. Great game. Have you guys ever smoked hookah, or do you smoke it, or can you? Because I'm trying to think of nicknames. Muka Hookah Simpson. I don't know if that's legal or not, but yeah, great game. Great game by him. 133 yards and a touchdown.
Well, yeah. We can go back to what you said about the other game. And Huss did not want the Muka Hookah smoke.
Muka Hookah Simpson.
Or did Muka smoke Huss's hookah?
I don't know. It's quite the quandary.
I'll be honest with you, I really don't even know what hookah is. I know Shane used to dabble with it back in the day.
He should dabble. It's like a drug.
I don't know if it's a drug or not. Is it?
Yeah.
Is it just drug?
Technically, it's tobacco.
Yeah. Yeah, Ward. I used to dabble in hookah back in my day.
Don't smoke,
I've
kids.
never done it.
Charlotte Latin hammered Mitchell 48-13. But I mean, that's a Charlotte team. That's going to be hard to win for anybody in the mountains. But Mitchell came out on the bottom of that matchup.
Athletes are just a little different over there. It's just the way it is.
Cherokee, how about them? They handled business against North Buncombe 20-7. Cherokee's quarterback Dawson Panther. Which, can we take a second? We've talked about Oak Markland. What a great name that is. Dawson Panther.
Dawson Panther.
You kidding me? What a name. He went 12 for 20 for 255 yards and 2 touchdowns. Heck of a player.
Sheesh.
It's like he was born and his mom and dad was like, he's going to be a football player, and this Dawson Panther. I'm all about great names.
So that's the wrap-up of scores in Western North Carolina. Now it's time for the very first Mountain Matchups Power Rankings.
It's the battle for the Blue Ridge Top 10, presented by We Don't Have a Sponsor.
At the number 10 spot, we have AC Reynolds, followed by Pisgah, TC, Erwin, Robbinsville, Hendersonville, Murphy, West Henderson, Mountain Heritage, and drumroll, fellas, who can guess who the number 1 team is?
I'll give you a hint. Thompson-Wynn.
That's right, Brevard, baby. They are number 1 on our first power rankings in Mountain Matchups history. So props to them. Anything about this list that stands out to you guys?
Yeah.
I think me and Corey have, after looking back on it, me and Corey have Murphy rated a little too low. I'd put Murphy above West Henderson.
Yeah, so just to fill in the listeners real quick, how we're doing this season is all 3 of us are putting together our top 10 each week, and then we're taking that with a point system and determining like our group top 10. So Corey and Warren both had Murphy at the 4 spot. I had Murphy at number 2. So yeah, you guys might have underrated Murphy a little bit.
Let me add something. Do y'all want to know why Pisgah is at number 9? That's just because Caleb and Warren had Pisgah at 8, and I don't have them in there.
That's right. Corey left Pisgah out of his top 10. So
hate to say it, when you get dominated like that, can't do it.
So not only did Corey spend most of the Pisgah recap dogging Landon Pope about why he won't run downhill, but he also left him out of his top 10. So
you really don't think Pisgah is one of the top 10 teams in Western North Carolina?
Negative.
They got beat down on week one by one of the best teams in the freaking state.
I understand, and that's fine. That's totally fine. I'm not saying that they're a bad team. I don't think they're top 10 worthy. You got okay. Reynolds is definitely better than Pisgah. Erwin's definitely better than Pisgah.
Hold on.
I mean, obviously, Erwin's better than Pisgah.
Can I talk? Can I talk though?
Yes, but you got to defend that statement first.
I will. Let me.
Okay.
Let me.
All right.
I have Reynolds and Erwin at 9 and 8. Okay, at the number 9 spot, number 8 spot. Both those teams went 0-1 in their first week. Erwin gave a dogfight to West Henderson, who we all have at number 3. Reynolds, yes, they got smacked by Brevard, who's the number 1 team. It was only 31-7. Asheville won. Robertson had an upset against Hunter Huss. Why am I going to put a 0-1 Pisgah team who got dominated? I don't give a crap if it's one of the best teams in the West North Carolina or not. Every other team in there has a winning record other than Erwin and Reynolds, who played somewhat competitive games against 2 really good teams. Pisgah got blown out. Why on earth would I put them in the top 10?
You can't talk about winning records after week 1. It's
y'all.
Week 1
no, I'm just saying it doesn't matter. Y'all.
You can't talk about
like,
winning records.
Y'all sound like Citizen Times. Let's just hype up Pisgah like we always do.
Pisgah is better than Reynolds and Robertson.
No, I would love to see it. Pisgah didn't beat Asheville in the scrimmage. What are you talking about?
Oh, it's a scrimmage.
You just love Landon Pope.
Me right now?
Hush. You just love Landon Pope.
Get the hell out of here.
Watch Pisgah finish middle. Watch Pisgah finish middle of the Mountain 8, and tell me I'm wrong.
All right, now I'm going to buy the Pisgah shirt, and I'm going to rock this for the rest of the season.
Might as well.
Just looking at our list that we each put in, me and Warren had Pisgah. The only different team that Corey had in versus us was Asheville. So Corey thought Asheville was top 10 worthy. Me and Warren did not think Asheville was. We put Pisgah in our top 10. But other than that, our teams are pretty much the same. They just kind of jostle around from here and there. But we all agree. Well, Warren has Mountain Heritage at number 1. Brevard.
Do y'all realize Asheville beat a third-round state playoff team from last year? And they're in a down year. I'm just saying that Asheville has like 87 sophomores on their varsity team.
Yeah, but they're not juniors and seniors, though.
We'll talk at the end of the season.
All right. Pisgah's going to have a better record than Asheville at the end of the season. Well, maybe they
play in the Mountain 8. What are we talking about?
All right. We'll talk at the end of the season. Go ahead and relax in your chair back there, son.
I will. It's my dad's. Comfy.
And so those are your top 10 teams according to Mountain Matchups. And who else's opinion would you trust over ours? Nobody's. It's time for the return of the Mountain Matchups Certified Dogs of the Week.
Yeah, I'm going to start off. Got to go with my man, Casey Jones. 89 rushing yards, 87 yards on just 3 receptions and 4 total tutties. That's a certified dog.
My pick is sophomore running back Parker Willis. He torched Enka last Friday night for 161 yards and 2 touchdowns on the ground. Parker Willis, you are a certified dog.
Yeah, he probably just scored again. My dog of the week is Zane McCraw from West Henderson. 140 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns, 52 yards receiving. Also had 13 tackles. He's my preseason WC Player of the Year, and I'm probably going to be putting his name on there at least every other week. He's my certified dog.
And don't forget, 13 of those tackles, 9 of those were solo, and he had a tackle for a loss. Just a boost.
He's a really good player. Like, no BS. He's freaking good.
So our game of the week, big-time matchup, Mountain Heritage, who we have as our number 2 team in Western North Carolina, goes into Erwin, fresh, after giving a good old-fashioned butt-whooping to Pisgah last week, while Erwin comes in banged up but hungry to bounce back after losing a nail-biter to West Henderson.
Yeah, boys. So for the Warriors, I mean, wide receiver and defensive back Lawson Reynolds, from what we know, he is expected to play after last week's knee scare. And star linebacker Jaden Holder, he'll see his first snaps in the season debut after suffering a preseason ankle injury. That's a huge boost for the Warriors defense right there.
That's huge.
Erwin's offense needs to find some rhythm and a spark. Caden Ingle, he threw for 2 scores last week, but he also threw a pick. So consistency, that's going to be the key there. Kadarion Brown, which I'd never even heard of before. He stepped up big time for the Warriors in place of Reynolds. He had 114 yards and a touchdown, plus 10 tackles on defense. He's proven that he can be a difference maker in this game.
That's big time.
See, the thing about this game is Erwin struggled against the run, against McCraw. That's what Mount Heritage does. Like I think previously I mentioned 179 yards, average rushing, bare minimum rushing the past 14 games. Mount Heritage just doesn't have one rusher. They have 2 to maybe even 4 people that can gap you at any given time. That is a massive problem for Erwin.
Hey, and for Mountain Heritage, it all starts with Casey Jones. 4 touchdowns and 9 tackles last week. That dude, he sets the freaking tone. And you can't forget about junior quarterback Braden Dayton, who recently filled the very big shoes by replacing Brandon Quinn from last season. Dayton, he added 146 yards through the air and 85 on the ground. That showed that he can be the Cougars' next dual threat QB. Dayton's ability to attack from the ground and the air, that just makes the Cougars tough to defend.
But yeah, Casey Jones, I mean, what else can you say about that guy? Like, he's a monster. I think between him and Zane McCraw for Western North Carolina Player of the Year, I mean, it's looking like it's between those two. Very early. Don't get me wrong. I know it's week 1, but
the kid can do it all.
They're both monsters.
I mean, it's very early, but according to Corey, Pisgah has already been eliminated from the playoffs. So.
They'll lose first round if they make it. Listen, boys, here's the bottom line. Heritage is freaking rolling, but Erwin has the athletes to make this a fight. If Reynolds is healthy, Engel can find his mojo, and Holder can stabilize the defense, this could very well turn into a Friday night classic, in my opinion.
I think it's going to be an amazing game. I'll be tuned in, or hopefully we'll be tuned in. During our golf trip.
We're going to be tuned in, baby. We're going to have all the games on NFHS.
100%.
It's going to be a good time.
We're going to have like 18 games on at once. And I expect all of you to have notepads tracking every play of every game.
Warren's going to be in the corner of the cabin practicing swinging his 9-iron.
Listen, there's no weeks off.
No practice.
There's no weeks off in mountain matchups, okay?
Absolutely not.
So, yeah, this is a game we all are going to have our eyes on. We're very excited to watch it. Time to see what Erwin's made of, starting off 0-1 and now going into a very tough matchup with Mountain Heritage. Let's do our picks. Corey, who you got?
Boys, I think I'm going to have to go Mountain Heritage. Let's say Mountain Heritage 35, Erwin 21.
Okay.
I got Mount Heritage 31, Erwin 27.
If Lawson Reynolds plays, Mountain Heritage still wins. Give me Mountain Heritage over Erwin. Erwin starts off 0-2, digging themselves a deep hole for the playoffs. Now it's time for a little rapid fire session, boys. We're going to pick 9 more games. Each week we're going to pick a total of 10, including our game of the week. Corey currently leads the pack at 7-3 from last week. Me and Warren are tied at 6-4. We'll see how it shakes out at the end of the year. First game to pick, West Henderson at Hendersonville. Hendersonville just laid a smackdown on East. Who do you guys got?
I got Hendersonville, if I had to guess, probably 27-24. The beating they laid on East Henderson, I know West Henderson had a great win against Erwin, but I got a feeling it's at Hendersonville. Hendersonville is a great team. 27-24 Hendersonville.
I'm going to go West Henderson by 14.
Ooh.
I'm also going to take West Henderson. I think East was not a fair gauge for how good Hendersonville is. I mean, 68-0. That's still pretty good. Don't get me wrong, but I think West is the better team. They go into Hendersonville. They win. Swain at Pisgah, Corey's favorite team.
I'll take Pisgah over Swain. I think it's going to be kind of a low-scoring game. I'll go 17-14. I think Pisgah is going to establish the run early. 17-14 Pisgah.
First home game of the year. Give credit where credit's due. Pisgah by 21.
Yeah, this is a tough one because last week I predicted Swain to get their butts beat at Smoky Mountain, and I was way wrong. So I'm not going to bet against them. I'm going to take Swain going into Pisgah and win.
I like it.
Okay, I like it.
I like it.
East Henderson at Madison. Madison
Well,
beat Andrews last week 26-0. We know what happened to East Henderson. Warren, what do you think?
Well, East Henderson just recently got out of the ER, so I'll take Madison by 40.
Give me the Patriots.
Yep, Patriots all around. Taking Madison. We got Franklin at Robbinsville. The Black Knights.
This is a tricky game. My heart tells me Franklin, but it's at Robbinsville. I'm gonna go Franklin. They're going. I don't have a score for the game. I just think they're going to beat Robbinsville.
Give me Franklin as well.
You know what? Let's mix it up. I didn't like what I saw out of Franklin last week. I'm taking Robbinsville. Tuscola at Cherokee.
I think Tuscola's QB. He had a rough outing last week. He's a great player. Terrible game though. He's going to bounce back. Tuscola's going to beat Cherokee.
I'm with Warren on this one again. I think that Jet Barley comes back, has a big time game. I just see him bouncing back. I mean, they gave Robbinsville a good game. Robbinsville's a good team. I think Jet Bartley comes back and they beat Cherokee.
And I think Dawson Panther, baby, and Cherokee keep it rolling. Go 2-0. Put Tuscola in 0-2 hole. We're mixing it up here, boys. I like this. If all my picks come out wrong, you guys are going to take a clear lead over me. But hey, we'll see.
Don't just try to be different. Go with your gut.
Well, I have a very large gut, so it's telling me Cherokee. We have Enka at Hayesville.
Well, newsflash: North Henderson just scored again, but that doesn't matter anymore. I got Enka over Hayesville due to one man, the myth, the man, the legend, Bryson Buckner. He brings intuition, intelligence, and intensity. That man alone will will his team to a win over Hayesville. I got Enka winning by 4 touchdowns.
That's a coach for Enka, by the way, an assistant coach.
Who is also my best friend. And Bryson, I love you. Warren, I love you. Bryson, I still have faith in you. Give me Hayesville.
Wait, Hayesville? No.
Sadly.
Yeah, listen.
Enka's winning.
I hope you're right. Because, again,
Warren
we're all
didn't
Enka
go
boys.
to that. Warren didn't go to the North Henderson game with us.
I think
Thank
traveling
God.
to Hayes, if they were at home, I might
Yeah.
take Enka. I think Hayesville's got enough at home to beat Enka. I'm taking Hayesville. Sorry, Jets fans.
Long
McDowell, McDowell at Mitchell.
I'm gonna go with McDowell. I'm gonna be honest with you. Mitchell didn't look good last week. McDowell won. I'll just take a flyer on this one and pick McDowell.
I'm going to try to go a little reverse jinx here. Shout out to Warren last year for choosing Mitchell and them losing every game. I'm
They've
taking
lost every
Mitchell.
game since.
I'm taking Mitchell. Mitchell beats the Titans.
Ever since I started picking them, I think they've lost like 7 straight games dating back to last season.
All right, I'm going to bring them back. Don't worry.
Yeah, I feel like I'm picking mostly road dogs this week. I'm going McDowell over Mitchell. So in a rare North Carolina-Tennessee matchup, we got Asheville going to Dobbins-Bennett.
It's hard to pick against a school that's hyphenated. I don't know much about Dobbins-Bennett, but I do know the school is hyphenated, so they have to be a bunch of badasses out there. So I'll go Dobbins-Bennett by 10, 30-20 over Asheville.
I love the way this man explains things. I'm taking Dobbins-Bennett too.
Yeah, make it all the way around. We're all taking Dobbins-Bennett. Asheville, Cougars, go and prove us wrong. We don't want to be right. Prove us wrong. And then TC Robertson, we talked about their big win against Huss. They've got another huge matchup at Watauga. Watauga is the 30th ranked team in North Carolina on Max Preps, and they beat Ashe County last week 56-7. TC at Watauga, what do you got?
Watauga is going to beat the brakes off of them, 48-21.
Yeah, I'm going Watauga by at least 35.
Yeah, I think Watauga wins big. And again, TC, prove us wrong. Do us a favor. Prove us wrong. I mean, if they start off 2-0 with wins over Huss and Watauga, I mean, that's
I will personally go hug Philip Bohannon and tell him what a great coach he is.
They would be a team to look out for sure.
That's Uncle Bo.
Uncle Bo.
Uncle Bo. Well, hey, good episode, guys. I think we had a good bit of banter going back and forth there. I love it. Football season is here in full swing. I'm excited to see, what happens this week. A lot of good games to keep an eye on. And we will watch every single minute on our golf trip, right?
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
All right. So with that, week 2, mountain matchups, season 2, comes to an end. Thanks for joining me, fellas. Love you guys.
Love
Love
y'all.
you.